Well, welcome back everybody to another episode of Automotive Drama. See, I got this 2011 Cadillac. Hell, it's been here so long I forgot what it is. STS? Yeah, it's an STS. With the V6 in it. Now, this car came to me dead. Dead. Charged the battery up. I thought, whatever. And they called me up and they said that the vehicle stalled on them. And I was so super busy, I told them I couldn't even get to it for like a week. So they took it somewhere else. Or I think it was a mobile guy that showed up. And don't ever do that. Don't ever call somebody up, mobile guy, and say, hey, come fix my car. Electronics on my car because it don't start. This guy ended up costing them more money than if they would have just brought it to me in the beginning, and let me explain why. Alright, I get it, totally dead. Now, a year or so ago, this car came in with a bad starter, and it acted similar, but the check engine light was not flashing. I mean, I hit the push button, and the only thing that would happen was the check engine light would flash. So, and then after speaking with them, yeah, I've been all through this wiring harness. All the way through it, all the electrical boxes, everything. Because I hook up my scanner, and I mean, the switch is so fungally. I had to mess with it. And I finally get the accessories to come on. And the check engine light would still flash, which is telling me no power to the ECM. But, so the first thing I do is check all the fuses. See, all the fuses. Now, this one right here actually controls this relay controls this fuse, which supplies power to these three wires. There's three wires here. You can see I couldn't find this short. I was going round and round. And so the first thing I do, I check all the fuses. Now, I found the culprit, but I check all the fuses. Now, this is a diode inside the fuse block. Now, not thinking, and of course I didn't have the cover at the time, which I found that later in the trunk. So I just checked all the fuses. I even pulled this diode out and checked it, and it was good, so I put it back in. So then I'm like, all right, I'm stuck. What do I got to do? After I was speaking with him, he shut it off. Came back out from work, went to go start it. All this was going on. So I go to the start switch. I look up the wiring diagram. I pin everything out. All the voltages are good, except for this one. And this is ignition mode switch start loop signal, LED signal, I'm sorry. So that gets a signal. Actually, it comes from the IPC to the ECM according to the wiring diagram. And I'm not sure. I think the IPC turns this relay on. I can't remember. I have to look. It's been a while since I looked at the wiring diagram. But this voltage was from 0.7 to 9.6 volts. Now, this one is only 4.3 on the start accessories, but I figured it looked like a communication, or not. I mean, it was a pull-down resistor, low voltage, so 5 volts should be good. This one was 8.6 volts. Well, like I said, this was 0.7 to 0.9 volts. And I had to wiggle the switch to actually get it to do that. Now, I didn't know, and I even looked at the circuit diagram, that GM uses 9.5 volts. It's possible Chrysler's notorious for 9.5 volts, but I just didn't like the voltages here and there. So I had him get me a switch. Plug the switch in, turn the switch on, crank this baby over, and it's cranking, but it won't start. So now I'm like, okay, back to square one, but now it's a crank, no start, not a no nothingness, so, I got something going on. So I come out here to check the fuses again, and I notice this diode was smoking. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I put a fuse in here, instantly pops. Alright, now I'm on to something, I tell myself. So I go back to the wiring diagram. Wiring diagram tells me this relay, which goes right here, powers up this fuse with the ignition. Oh, after it cranked for a while, I forgot. It cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked. Wouldn't start. And then, bam, dead, nothing. The check engine light wasn't even flashing anymore when I'd hit the key. So now I'm back to square one. I forgot about that. And I'm like, all right, what the hell's going on now? So I go back to the fuse block, start checking the fuses. Like I said, I saw that diode smoking. So then I go back to the manual, look up the description. There's no diode in there. So now I'm pissed off because I spent 2 hours tearing shit apart, looking everywhere, looking for low voltage. That was the code. Only code I can get from the IPC. That was the only thing I could talk to. It wouldn't talk to any other module. After I put the switch in it, then I was able to talk to all the modules but the engine module. That was after I cranked it. Isn't that thing lovely? That was after I cranked it, and then it stopped. And I lost communication with everything again. Nothing, dead. So I come back out, find that diode smoking, and now I'm pissed. Because the guy that put that in there was the guy that did this before me, and he had already replaced the ECM. Now, the ECM wasn't even in the car when I got it. I barely got it off the tow truck. But after I cranked it and cranked it and cranked it, I came back out, checked, found this diode that should have been a fuse. I started going through it and that's when I found these 3 wires didn't have no power. So I unplug it, check for short to ground, power to ground, etc., etc. Harness is good. Pull this relay, find that there's a short between here, the power up side, and here. Somewhere in this fuse block there's a short. I get a new fuse block, fix the wires, car starts. I had to reset everything, security and all that crap was all messed up, but I finally found it. Now, did I have to put a switch in it? Yeah, because if I didn't put that switch in it, I would have never led me to that, which should have never been there. Now, it's kind of my fault that I didn't know that. No, nobody knows everything about automobiles. You go with your database and you fix them as the problem arrives, unless it's a constant problem that you've seen before. But in this case, it wasn't a constant problem, it was a crazy problem. So after going through the entire wiring harness from here, back there, all the way back there, check every pin out, everything, looking for a low voltage. Can't find anything. Found that, pissed off, traced down the short to be inside this fuse block. Replaced the fuse block, vehicle starts, reset all the security systems, reset everything, shut everything, all the lights that it turned on. Now the vehicle runs. My point here is this was pretty tricky, and even for me, and I do electrical all day long. First of all, never lie to your mechanic. You think you're going to lie to your mechanic and it's going to save you money? No, it's going to cost you more money. Secondly, never let an unqualified professional work on your vehicle. It will end up costing you more. In this case, it ended up costing them a new PCM because by the time I had gotten to it and saw this diode all freaked out, what the hell happened to my camera? It smoked the PCM. So he got a new PCM, I got a new fuse block, and here we are. Anyways, like always, likes are nice, subscribes are better, questions, comments, feel free. This was a good one. I hope you understand a little bit what I was talking about. I thought long and hard on how to try to explain this to everybody. I mean, I don't know what's going on with my camera. Anyways, like always, likes are nice, subscribes are better, questions, comments, feel free. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.